Something just happened that turned the entire world of American sports completely on its head. I'm talking about a victory that, by all accounts, should have been impossible.
Look, this wasn't just a win. This was a seismic shockwave sent through the entire world of soccer. And to really get just how impossible this was, you've got to understand one single number. 6. That's the number. Out of 96 brutal attempts, going all the way back to 1996, an American MLS team had only managed to win a competitive match on Mexican soil 6 times. The odds? They're not just low, they're basically 0.
Well, until last night. Because last night, that number ticked up to 7. History was literally rewritten inside one of the most hostile, most intimidating stadiums on the entire planet.
All right, so let's get right into this. This is the incredible story of how Nashville SC, a team that nobody gave a chance, walked into the legendary Estadio Azteca and took down an absolute giant. The final score? 1-0. That's it. A single goal, just one moment of magic from Hani Mukhtar, and that's all it took to topple a Titan and send Nashville to the semifinals for the very first time. And this whole theme, underdogs just defying the odds when the pressure is at its absolute highest, that was a story we saw play out again.
This time, it was on the basketball court. We're talking about the NBA's win-or-go-home night, where the play-in tournament delivered its own special brand of heart-stopping drama.
Now, if you're not familiar with it, the NBA play-in tournament is just pure chaos. Imagine grinding through an 82-game season only to have it all erased by a single loss. It is the ultimate pressure cooker. So all eyes were glued to the Phoenix Suns versus the Portland Trail Blazers. And this wasn't just any game. It was a huge matchup between an elite scorer, Devin Booker, and a lockdown veteran defender, Drew Holiday. And believe me, these two have some serious history, going back to that famous steal Holiday had on Booker in the final minute of the 2021 NBA Finals.
And what happened? Well, in yet another stunning upset, Holiday's defense was the difference maker. The Trailblazers took down the high-powered Suns, pushing a team that had an amazing season right to the absolute brink of going home for good. But here's the thing. Even after a soul-crushing defeat like that, what happened next just shows you what competition is really all about. Devin Booker, in that moment, paid the ultimate respect to the guy who just beat him, reminding all of us what real sportsmanship looks like.
So we've seen underdogs win, and favorites completely collapse. The night was just full of surprises. But sometimes failure isn't just about one game. Sometimes it's about the crushing weight of expectation. And right now, there is nowhere that's more obvious than in Major League Baseball, where some teams with billion-dollar price tags are playing like they're in last place.
Get this, the recent series between the New York Mets and the Los Angeles Dodgers, it was called the most expensive matchup in the history of baseball. Why? Because their combined payrolls topped $1.07 billion, with a B.
But for the Mets, all that money isn't buying them any runs. They've scored just 9 runs during a 6-game losing streak. They've been shut out 4 times already this season, which leads the entire league. It's not just a slump, it's a total collapse.
But here's the twist in all this. While these teams with massive payrolls are just falling apart, pure individual talent is still shining through. It's proof that you just can't buy a championship.
And if you want a perfect example, look no further than Dalton Varsho, an outfielder for the Toronto Blue Jays. His team has been in a serious slump, but this guy, he's been playing on another planet.
.412. That is Varsho's batting average over his last 4 games. That is an absolutely elite number. I mean, to put that in perspective, if you get a hit just a third of the time in baseball, you're considered a star. So yeah, he's been on fire, a real bright spot for a Blue Jays team that's really been struggling.
Okay, so why does any of this matter? What's the big picture here? It matters because failure, these shocking upsets, this desperation, it forces teams to make huge franchise-altering moves. Billion-dollar busts, they lead to blockbuster trades.
And that brings us to maybe the biggest question of them all. After watching all these favorites fall and these big spenders fail, are we about to witness the NBA's next super team get built right in front of us?
Well, according to insiders, the legendary Miami Heat president, Pat Riley, is done with being just okay. As one reporter put it, Pat Riley wants his whale, his shark, his tiger. He's preparing to hunt for a true game-changing superstar this offseason.
And who's the target? None other than Giannis Antetokounmpo. But the price to get a player like that? It would be astronomical.
We're talking about potentially gutting their roster of all-star talent like Bam Adebayo or Tyler Herro, trading away key players, and giving up a ton of future draft picks. It's the kind of move that would instantly reshape not one, but two entire franchises.
So, what does this all add up to? We've seen historic upsets, we've seen billion-dollar busts, and now we're looking at the potential birth of a new dynasty. It all boils down to one massive question for the entire future of sports. In a world where underdogs can topple giants, and money doesn't always buy wins, is chasing that one single superstar and mortgaging your entire future for them still the ultimate path to a championship? Or is the very nature of the game changing right before our very eyes?